was Friday night, and I was standing there in the kitchen next to the table, the same table that my children and my family had eaten meals at together for over 13 years. My middle son asked a simple question. Dad, will you take us to the movie tomorrow? He simply answered, nope, I'm busy. It took everything inside of me to get out of my house and into my car and get far, far away. Busy? Busy with what? We're his family, and these are his sons. I don't know why it surprised me. We had not seen him on a weekend for over 12 months. But this night, it hit different. It cut deeper. I'm driving down the road, and tears are just pouring down my face, and I'm thinking, I just need to call somebody. I need to talk to somebody. I've got to get back home and play games with my son. I promised him that we would play games this night. I didn't want to disappoint him, not like he does. I text everybody I know, and finally, a friend texts back. She said, hey, I saw you texted. I can't talk now, but I can call you tomorrow. Tomorrow? I don't think I'll be here tomorrow. Can someone hurt this bad and keep living? I'm 7 years old, and I'm laying in my canopy bed, and I pull the covers up over my head, and I put a pillow over my ears. I'm trying to block out all the screaming and the yelling. Why is there always fighting? Why are they always arguing? My biological father had already left. Not this one, too. That night, little Evie laid there, wishing and wondering, how do you have a happy life and a fairy tale ending? How do you make a daddy stay? How do you make a marriage last? Laying there, little Evie was determined to figure it out. She was going to figure out how to have a happy ending and live happily ever after. It was little Evie that was trapped inside this woman's body that Friday night, standing there in that kitchen beside that table, wanting and waiting, wishing and hoping that she could get this daddy to stay. I walked into my room, and a book literally called me from the shelf. So I went over, took it off the shelf, and let it just fall open. I read a story about a husband and wife. They were married, and he was an alcoholic, a liar, a cheater, and they got divorced, and he left and moved on. Years later, the wife, she found out about the power of gratitude, and she began to be thankful for her husband. And he came back, they remarried, and lived happily ever after. What? What? Seriously? I'm not supposed to be thankful and grateful that my husband's having an affair? Surely not. 5 days later, a stranger hands me a book, and she said, "This book changed my life." I got home, I opened it up, and I read it. The whole premise of the entire book was about gratitude. The message was clear: to be thankful for everything. But even more than that, be thankful for what you don't like. Oh my goodness. Seriously. I'm standing beside my tub, and I'm not happy. I'm sad because my husband, he's not texted or checked on us, called, nothing. I didn't like it. Be grateful for even the things you don't like. Well, I guess I could try that. I've tried everything else. And so standing there beside my tub on that Friday night, my teeth were clenched and my fists were balled up. And I formed a sentence that had some thread of truth to it that I could actually make come out of my mouth. It went something like this: I'm thankful and grateful that my husband is not texting or checking on us, checking on his children, because if he was supposed to, he would. I did it. I wasn't happy about it, and I sure didn't like it, but I did it. And then I slipped into the tub to wash away all my heartbreak. That is until the next day, all the heartbreak returned. It was a Saturday and he wasn't there. So I did it again. I'm so thankful and grateful that my husband's not here on this Saturday, because if he was supposed to be, he would. I did it. I did it. And I did it. Again and again and again. And the more that I practiced gratitude, the more it began to sink down and bring peace and calm. Gratitude was like waving a magic wand over my mind and my heart. Gratitude made me realize that everything is happening just like it's supposed to. Gratitude changed me. It made me into a whole new person. So, even though little Evie wanted that marriage to work, it was clear that wasn't going to happen. And so I said to my husband, I think we should get a divorce. And just like that, 26 years of marriage ended with a pen on a legal document. It ended just like it had started. The cancer's returned, the doctor said. And there's nothing we can do. No! No, it can't be. That can't be true. He's only 16. years old, I just knew that if I could read enough and study enough and find the right doctor, I could find a way to make a son stay. But I couldn't figure it out. And 4 days after my third son's 17th birthday, he was gone. I don't understand why he couldn't stay. I didn't understand it then, and I still don't understand it now. And after years of grieving and tears and heartbreak, I found my way back to gratitude. Be thankful, even for the things you don't like. So once again, I created a sentence that had some thread of truth to it that I could actually speak out of my mouth. It went something like this. I'm thankful and grateful that Colson was here the exact number of days that he was supposed to be. Any more or any less wouldn't have been better for me or for him. And another, I'm so thankful and grateful that Colson's life was fulfilled. It wasn't cut short. It sure seemed like it was. Sometimes in life, things don't turn out like we think they should. Sometimes they don't go the way we planned or wished or hoped or dreamed. And we think we can't make it through, but we do. One day, years after my divorce and after Colson left, I was assessing my life. And I realized I didn't get that happily ever after that I'd hoped for. But what I found out is that I am living happily even after.